All right, good morning, everybody. We're going to be starting in just a minute, just making sure we've got everything working with our interpreters. If you're looking for your language, you can find it at the bottom. There is an icon that looks kind of like a world, and it has all the languages that are available. Italian, again, is on the Korean channel, and Turkish is on the French channel. I know we have people that are still going to be coming in, and we will be assisting them as they join. Thank you all so much for being online with us. I do want to let you know that this is recorded. The playback will be downloaded once we are finished with the webinar, and we will send it out to you so that you have access to it for that entire year. We will be gathering questions towards the end of the event. We'll be gathering them separately in a doc. So on the channel, you may not see that it's been answered, but we will be gathering your questions in a separate direction on a document so that we can get them as many answered as possible. Know that the first part of the webinar is just talking about raising your vibration for manifesting. So save your questions a little bit, just enjoy the webinar, get in the energy, and we'll be turning Vianna on in just a moment. Okay, and one last time, just as a reminder for everybody that you can find your language interpretation at the bottom of the screen. It looks like a little world. The Italian language is on the Korean channel, and the Turkish language is on the French channel, and then all of the other languages, Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, Japanese, Russian, and German, you can find on those channels. Just choose your language and you'll be able to hear this event translated for you. We are recording. You are welcome to turn your cameras on, or you can have your cameras off. That is completely up to you. We are recording Vianna. We are not recording you guys, but the event is recorded. At the bottom of the screen, there is a chat function, which is where you guys can chat back and forth. And then there is a questions and answer section, which is where you can put your questions and answers. You can also put them in the chat, whichever one you're more comfortable with. We've got people following both places. So we'll gather all of those up so that we can begin. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So thank you so much for joining us. We've got people from all around the world, all different time zones. So thank you so much for staying up or getting up to be online with us. We've got amazing interpreters with us today that will be assisting you for this event. Okay, we're going to go ahead and begin.
All right. Are you ready? Good morning, afternoon, and evening to all of you. My name is Vianna Steibel, and you have just joined a super cool webinar. Some of you know Theta Healing, and some of you may not. So very quickly, Theta Healing is this amazing modality that takes you into a theta brainwave in seconds. What could have taken you hours to meditate to, you can get into very quickly this state. Our ancestors and people would fast for days sometimes to get into a theta state and hold it. We know how to do that. And what does that matter if you know how to do that? In a deep, deep theta wave, you can manifest things very quickly. It opens up different parts of your mind. It gives you access to your intuition. It gives you access to the connection to the creator of all that is. Just so you know. That is the main objective of Theta Healing, is to teach you how to connect to the life force, the energy that moves in all things, the creator of all that is. And when you do that, you're more open for healing, and you're more open to work with your subconscious and everything else. Your spirit, your mind, your body all starts to cooperate for you. It's a very cool modality, and it's a very cool meditation that kind of starts it. We're going to take you through today and show you some cool things. For those that are theta healers, you're just going to realize that we got some cool new stuff for you to actually really help you manifest. It will be good for everyone. It'll be fun for everyone. And it will kind of get you refocused on what you want to create in your life. Okay, so we're going to start. All right. Number one. Your subconscious runs like 90% of your life. And even though you work really, really hard and you're fully, really, really conscious of how much you're working, you may be having a hard time manifesting in your life. And no matter how much you try, you may have a hard time manifesting. Or some of you are manifesting and you're manifesting good things, and then it stops. Or you don't know how to manifest nothing, but you don't realize that you're manifesting all the time. We manifest with our words. Excuse me. We manifest with our words. We manifest with our thoughts constantly. So the first thing you kind of have to do is know what thoughts you need to have to move your vibration up to manifest easier. So just so you know, this isn't I'm going to show you how to go up to the creator and get everything instantly just given to you class. When you manifest, you go up to the creator, you tell your mind, your right, you really want to create in your life, and it brings to you sometimes opportunities to actually create that. Sometimes it'll bring things to you very quickly. Sometimes it seems like it just shows up. But sometimes you've got to take that opportunity. Now, I sit down with people and say, they come to me and they say, well, I manifested for a new healing center and I didn't get it. Well, that's not how it works. And it's not how your mind works. So we're going to talk to you a little bit about that before we go on too far. First of all, you have to know what you want to manifest. The biggest thing blocking people from manifesting things in their life is that they don't know what they want. So you need to know what you want. And lots of people say, I just want financial security. Recording in progress. They say, I got to fix some couple things here. They'll say, I'm really happy. I just want to be close to God. But then they'll turn around and say, why don't I have enough money for food? Or why don't I have enough to do what I want? And so really and truly, we may be blocking our own manifestations by simply the words that we speak. And we'll talk about that in a second. Okay. Second of all, lots of people just don't know what they want. And so that leaves your subconscious to create for you. Now, we are sparks of God. We are these divine beings of light. We don't create anything in our life unless it's showing us or teaching us something. And believe it or not, your subconscious doesn't deviate. As long as your higher self, your soul, your spirit are all learning some kind of thought that is good for you. The more virtues you learn, the higher your vibration goes. So if you need to learn patience on a soul level, the creator will bring you everything to teach you patience. And it might not be a good thing that your subconscious is bringing to your life. You may have uh, really hard opportunities given to you by the universe to teach you patience. Now, if you manifest, you can manifest these lessons to come a little easier or maybe even in a joyful way. But we have to kind of retrain our minds that that can happen. After all, in Theta Healing, we realize that we not only have subconscious programs from our core beliefs from our life, but we also pick up from our DNA and our past life memories of our ancestors, the earth, programs that have been handed down for centuries that are actually interplaying in your life. And what we do in Theta Healing is we kind of get those programs to shift and actually work for us. So the first thing you need to know is your subconscious gets bored really easy and it likes to create a lot of activity, especially if you're a healer. And you would know if you were a healer if people came, sat down to you, and started telling you all their problems. Whether you know it or not, that's just sort of built into a healer. Now, you may not think you're a healer, but I bet you people tell you their problems all the time. Okay, just so you know, that can work for you, this healer thing, or it can work against you because healers have this unusual way of manifesting very quickly what they're thinking. And believe it or not, we think a lot of depressing, sad, critical thoughts that could actually block us. So before we get to that, the first thing you need to do when you want to do manifesting is I need you guys to write a list of at least 10 things. 10 things you could create if you were limitless uh, when it came to finances or money. And I make sure you put in something that you want that is definitely physical in this manifesting class. You know, you may think that you're only spiritual, but spiritual people need to eat. Okay, so manifest something physical and spiritual in this class. Now, if you go up and say, Creator, make me a better healer, then the Creator will bring up every fear, doubt, and disbelief you have so you can clear it so you can become a better healer. But if we use something in Theta Healing called downloads, we can teach yourselves instantly that you are becoming a better healer without going through so much drama about it. But even to be a great healer, you do have to practice and you do have to work on people. So there is a lot that you're going to have to do to really make your manifesting actually work for you. So one of the things that you need to do before we even start class is just start writing a list of something that you would create if you could create anything, with the exception of not taking something away from somebody. So you can't create that you're the CEO of Tesla. Okay, that job's taken. You can't take away from anybody. You cannot, when you're working with your mind and your subconscious and the creator, you cannot manifest that you have your neighbor's wife. No, that's your neighbor's wife. You should be focused on having your own wife. You know, maybe someone that may be a lot like her, but maybe you shouldn't be trying to take away something from someone else because that doesn't really work when you do spiritual manifestation. Now, with all that being said, you can, if you like your neighbor's car, you can go buy a car like your neighbor. Maybe your neighbor wouldn't like that so much, but just so you know, you cannot have something that belongs to someone else, which means you cannot make someone love you that doesn't love you. So you just can't go up and manifest that uh, this amazing actor loves you if you don't even know who they are. You want to manifest that you have your right soulmate, your compatible soulmate. And you always, if you're going to manifest a soulmate in your life, you want that soulmate to be compatible to work with you. That means compatible in every way, mentally, physically, spiritually. That doesn't mean easy. So if you're a healer, you don't like a lot of easy. You don't want someone to uh, just stand there and do everything you say. You want someone that has a mind and an energy that is compatible to you. So if you're going to manifest a soulmate, got to be someone who's compatible. You want to manifest, of course, what gender you want your soulmate and probably what species. Because if you manifest someone who loves you completely, unconditionally, the creator will send you a dog, just so you know, because relationships probably need a little bit of conditions like I love you, I will respect you, I will be loyal to you, those kind of things. For you that are theta healers, you've heard me talk about this before. But as you manifest for a compatible soulmate, you also have to understand that if you're looking for your compatible soulmate, when you're ready doesn't mean they're ready. So maybe when you manifest a little bit later today, you can go up and ask, and creator, when are they ready? And then you'll kind of get an idea of what to do. In theta healing, we have an ability to change our belief systems and actually shift our subconscious beliefs. So we can shift our energy pretty good. If you don't know anything about theta healing, well, you got to check it out. It's actually really cool. But because if you are a theta healer, because you can shift a lot of subconscious beliefs, doesn't mean that you don't have to take action in your own behavior. Now, just because we download and show you and do a lot of belief work about you being loved and happy and kind and sweet and all whatever it is, you still have to practice being kind and sweet. And as you become a theta healer and you go more and more into theta, you kind of start to have to watch what you're saying because you are changing your ideas, but maybe not all of your habits. And you have to kind of start working a little bit on habits. Okay. So let's talk. What things actually lower your vibration? Okay. And how do you get to manifest? Now, I'm not talking to you as in la, 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 la. I'm going to actually give you a few exercises to actually practice so you can kind of shift your subconscious and change your energy to be joyful and happy. You can maybe be able to manifest things in your life, but if you don't know how to live and don't know how to be joyful and happy, you can't manifest as easily and you won't find fulfillment. So no matter what you manifest, if you can't actually experience joy and happiness, it's just kind of going in a circle. So there's a couple of things that we want to do that will actually really help you. Little exercises that will really help you. I'm going to take you up today and get you all ready to actually higher your vibration so you can manifest easier. Okay, so one thing that actually really blocks you is the energy of desperateness. When you're always really feeling desperate that you have to do something and you're being pushed to do it. You're desperate to pay your bills sometimes. You're desperate to make sure everybody gets their paycheck. You're desperate to make sure you pay your rent. That energy actually really motivated our ancestors to move and to get things done. But it can be really, really hard to be joyful, even if you're manifesting, if you're always in the state of desperation. So very quickly, you might need to do some belief work on this later, but very quickly, would you like to know how to live without feeling desperate? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up into theta and actually go in and teach you on all four levels, your cells, your mind, your body, what it feels like to be able to do that. Because we've done it for so long as a human being, thousands of generations, that we may not know how to live without being pushed to desperateness. So, do I have permission to do this for you? It's called a download. Very cool. And now you have to say yes, and you have to say yes aloud. And if you've never had theta healing, we're just going to go ahead and if you say yes, teach you this. We cannot download you without permission. We cannot give you any energy without permission. We're just going to ask the creator, the energy of all that is, to show you how to create things in joy, love, and gratitude. And if you would like that one, say yes. Joy and gratitude. What a powerful word. If you can live your life in joy and gratitude, of course you're going to be happier, because joy and happiness is something that we really uh, create with the energies of serotonin and dopamine. These are all very hormonal energies, and they can be stopped, literally stopped in their path by criticism, by talking about being desperate, saying desperate things, depression. All can stop this energy flow of something that actually makes our body feel happy. And we can contradict it. And yes, we can go to the doctor, and some of you have, and that's good if you need that. But what if I could tell you just a couple of simple exercises that you could do to shift that depression from your energy? One of the things that made people really depressed was COVID. They got locked up in their houses. They couldn't leave. They couldn't go out and do things kind of more for themselves. Uh, Pretty soon people got to the point where they didn't get dressed. They talked to people online, but it made you feel like sometimes powerless as you were locked down in COVID. And of course, COVID itself had its own thing. And a lot of people got very desperate and very, very depressed. And then they just sort of got consumed, because your mind is powerful. Your mind, thoughts move faster than the speed of light. And as a divine being of light that's here to create lessons or to create experiences that teach us really high vibrational thoughts of virtues, um, we are deeply influenced by our thoughts. And so if we constantly say, I'm depressed, or we constantly complain, we bring that energy into our body and literally it makes us depressed and even more depressed. And literally, we create our own reality. We do create our own reality. So wherever you're sitting in your life, if you're unhappy and if things are not working right, you have to remember we're programming ourselves for that. And maybe it isn't all your program, maybe it's ancestral programs, but we can change that. We can. And here's some simple little exercises that will really help you out of depression in just a moment. Now, thoughts are real things. They move faster than the speed of light. And as you increase your higher vibrational thoughts, you increase your ability to manifest. Now, these thought forms like kindness and joy, these are what we call virtues. They literally change it so that your thoughts can go through the universe faster than the speed of light. Literally, if you do a healing and you truly have consideration and kindness for the person you're working, you can hold this energy of perfect unconditional love much longer. And in theta healing, we use a meditation to go up and connect with the creator and put unconditional love in people, but also ask for healing, manifestations, and it works. It works. You know, when we first started doing the meditation, things that I would say when I was doing a reading would appear in my life. Things that I would say, oh, I would really like this, or I'd really like that. And it would just come. And then I was shown that in this energy of theta, we are so connected to our divine self and to the creator that we just start bringing things. So kindness, love, joy, those are the really cool things. Really cool. It's really hard to be kind and joyful when your world is falling apart, or when you're so desperate you can get out of bed, or when you're combating illness constantly all the time. But we can change these things by just a couple simple exercises. Okay, so exercise number one. For the first half of a day, even a whole day, if you could, set your alarm on your phones. Most of you have phones, for every half hour. And every half hour, think of something that actually makes you happy. It's a simple exercise. You don't even have to go to theta to do it. And of course, you guys are going to say, well, I'm not happy. Everything's bad. I don't know. But there are things that make you happy. It's nice to crawl into a clean sheet and to bed at night when you crawl into your covers and lay down, if you have covers. It can feel good. It can feel warm. It can make you happy. A cup of tea, how it feels to just take a moment and feel that energy can make you happy, even in that little moment. The breeze on your face. There's anything in the world that just brings me instant joy, it's the breeze on my face. Now, I'm coming to you from Kauai. Here in Kauai, where I am, the wind is always blowing very softly, very kindly, and it always makes me stop and just think of how wonderful that feels. So you need to stop every half hour and think of something that feels amazing, makes you happy, even for that moment. And at first, it might be hard to think about what makes you happy. So I gave you a couple starts, maybe getting into a warm bath, or maybe getting a kiss from the person you love, or maybe being around your mother. That's a 50-50 probably for some of you. Maybe it's just listening to children laugh, but only every 30 minutes. If you stop for one day and do this for one day, your whole attitude about life and energy will change, and your body will start to produce and create more serotonin and in your life. Now, it'll just shift you. Now, it will still work if you're on any kind of medication, so you don't have to get off your medication. In Theta Healing, we believe you can heal people with or without medication. So don't get off of it, but stop and see if everything starts to shift in your life. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when we do that manifesting at the end of this talk, I want you to be in this energy of joy. So as of right now, Randy, timey. Okay. I want you to think of something that makes you happy, really, really happy. Okay. So take a minute, think about it. Very good. Okay. Now we're ready. So here we go. I'm going to completely open with a prayer. I'm going to take you up to the Creator, and I'm going to give you like 5 little exercises that will actually just shift your life. So first of all, I want you to imagine energy coming up through the bottoms of your feet, moving up to the top of your head, and making a beautiful ball of light. Pretend that you're in that ball of light, that you go up the universe through layers and layers of light, through a golden light, through a thick jelly-like substance, and into a tingly white light. And I want you to say, Creator of all that is, it is requested that every cell in my body be filled with perfect, unconditional, perfect love, knowing love of the Creator's energy. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Now I want you to imagine if you could feel the most perfect, intelligent love that ever was. What would it feel like going in and around and through your cells and feeding your cells this perfect love? And you're allowed to hold it. You're not just moving the energy through it. You're growing and feeling it in your body. Very good. Now I want you to imagine going back up to that tingly white light of the energy that you just came from, this tingly white, white, white light, which is the energy of creation. It is the energy that moves in all things. It creates quarks. It creates every particle in the universe. It is pure energy of intelligence and love. And now I want you to say, thank you. It is done. It is done. And open your eyes. Very good. Now, in another half hour, if you set your clock, you think of something that makes you happy, that brings you a moment of joy, and you do that for the rest of the day, you will be able to manifest what you really want in your life 10 times easier. 10 times. Just so you know. Okay. The next thing you want to do, and this is a very simple exercise. First, you're still writing your list of 10 things. So you got to be able to talk to you and still write your things. You can have a list of 20 things by the time this is over if you want. But the more things you give your mind to create, the better it will create for you. Because if you just ask God to give you financial security or to give you plenty, you can spend your whole life achieving that. Or you can make like a grocery list. Your subconscious works really fast. It likes to keep busy and it likes to have a list of things to manifest. And as long as you give it a list, it'll start manifesting those things on the list. And I actually write everything on my list. I write it down in a little red book and I literally watch it happen in my life. It's cool, just so you know. Okay, the next thing that will actually make you bring your vibration up, really, really manifest is gratitude. You know, we spend so much of our time saying what we don't have that we forget to realize what we do have. And if for today, you just 4 times a day, and this one is a little longer, you have to do this 4 times a day for like 3 days. 4 times a day today would be a great start. Thinking of what makes you happy in your life. Now, what are you grateful for? What do you have that is making you happy? Gratitude is like one of the most amazing energies to manifest with. You know, if you're doing a healing and joy, kindness, you know, things are going to happen fast, you know. And by the way, not very many people want to be around someone who's depressed and complaining all the time. Complaining will block your manifestations. Complaining, whining, you know, get rid of that. Would you like to know how to live without that? Say yes if you do. Okay. You want to bring out joyfulness to the universe because you are alive. This is your life. You're creating your life. You know, don't waste your time trying to create something and saying you're not going to be happy until it's there. You know, take this moment. You know, feel the sunshine in your body. Feel the strength of being alive. You know, be grateful. You know, if your arm doesn't work, be grateful your legs do. But that energy of gratitude, just stopping 4 times a day, will increase your ability to manifest enormously. Because if you manifest in an energy of gratitude, things will change. In fact, one of the biggest secrets of doing a really great healing is going up and thanking the creator for your life. You know, thank the creator for everything that you have. Thank the creator for your children. Thank the creator for your husband, your wife. Thank the creator if you're single. Thank the creator that you know how to live and be completely independent. Now you're ready for a soulmate. but thank the creator and you will start to change. And in the create to be grateful, if you can think of 3 things you're grateful, you're got a head start. And I bet you a lot of you can think of things that make you grateful. And that will change the energy again. Your body will start to produce more serotonin. Now, when your body is in fear and when it's in sorrow and when it's angry, it will try to stimulate the immune system. And if you're that way all the time, your immune system gets wore out, it gets tired, it can't work for you. Just so you know. Okay. If you are depressed, if you are not really depressed, but sad, angry, fearful, that just stops, boom, it halts serotonin so that you can get the adrenaline that you need in your life. And with that little bit of serotonin, your body can relax and it can heal. And it's not just serotonin, it's all of these things. One of the things that gratitude also does is it will actually kind of help you shift something else, the one habit that really depletes your energy. And that is being really critical. And I'm telling you this because a lot of you are really psychic and really intuitive. And you know what you can do? You have the ability to tell the good and the bad in people. You can see that person is not real or not authentic or not has motivations that aren't good. And that's good. That's a great quality in being psychic. But when you start to gossip about people and start to say negative things about people, it takes your energy. So when people come in and they'll go, "Oh man, I don't know. He's way too narcissistic for me. I don't even like being around him. He's just like, he's full of crap, man. I mean, everything he says is a lie." You may have noticed that. But when it comes out of your mouth like that, that brings the energy level down in the room. It brings it down with the person you're talking to, and it brings it down in you. And to be honest, you don't really want to give that much of your energy away. Instead, if you hear people saying something negative about another person, remind them of the qualities they do have. Like, but you know what? They are really, really kind and they're getting better every day. Now, that's one of the things I've noticed about the students that I teach. Some of them will come into my classes. They're already cool, just so you know, they're already amazing. But as they take the classes, they become really amazing. And I will always say, they are just becoming amazing. And it's not just my program, it's a shift in your mind to actually notice the good. Now, you have to be able to see the good and the bad to be a good healer or a good reader or a good psychic. And you have to know who you want to associate with and who you don't. But if you want to bring people to you that will make you feel uplifted, you have to kind of uplift people. And one thing that pulls people away, people come to me and they go, "I can't fill up my classes. I don't know why." That pulls all this energy into you. Okay, just so you know. But if you go out into the world and you send them love and talk to them, send that energy out to them. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. You send that energy, they send good energy back. And guess what? You have a client. In fact, I have people come to me all the time and go, "You know what? I don't have any clients." I'm like, "I don't know how that happens because I meet people every day, every single day that have abilities." I had a man come over yesterday to talk to me about an air conditioning. My gosh, this kid had the best energy. He was the greatest little healer, I could tell. And he walked in and he looked at my book and he goes, "Oh my gosh, you write books?" I went, "Yeah, now I'm a healer." And he's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Absolutely. Let me tell you, you have great abilities. I can tell you, dude, you would really like to read this. This is a really good book. You probably already do it anyways. You would like to read it." It wasn't my intention to grab him, and he was already there, sending his energy out. And that's what you guys have to kind of remember when you teach, when you speak. Human beings are very inside their self. They care about what's going on in their world until you open them up a little bit so you can see their world, so they can actually feel okay. And who's going to do it? You are, because you're a healer and you know how to see other people shine. And so, how do you practice that? You practice it immediately. Instead of telling everybody what they do wrong, maybe you should exercise what you do right, especially with your own family and your own children. Now, I don't know if any of you have family members, but brothers and sisters can be pretty critical of each other. They have that ability, but you can shift that. You can say, if you have a brother or a sister and the other brother says, oh, she always does that, you can always say, yes, and she's so kind and loves you so much. So would you like to know how to stop your criticalness? Do I have permission to download that? Okay. I don't want you to stop your abilities. I still want you to see the truth in all things. But how you talk to another person is really important. Use your words. Use your words. If you feel like nobody sees you, you're in your shell. You're pulled back. Shine. Would you like to know how to shine? And try really hard to avoid talking about yourself constantly. Talk about them. You know, Share what you know, but let them shine. How do you do that? Wow, what a beautiful day this is. This is great. Now, one thing that you know as a healer is you know how to do that. You know how to reach the energy of the creator and let the creator heal someone. That is like the most amazing ability. So that's your next exercise. You need to stop every time you hear yourself being critical, is saying critical things about anybody, and see something that is a quality. And most of all, you guys can do that. But it's when other people come to us and they're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. These kids are so dirty. They leave everything all over. I can't stand working with them. I can't get them to pick up their stuff. Well, you know what? I wouldn't pick up my stuff if you came and did that to me. So maybe you could shift it to, hey, let's get this done. We can do it. Encouragement, the ability to encourage another person. Another practice. Okay, so today, every half hour, you're thinking of something that makes you happy. 4 times today, you're thinking of something that makes you grateful. And at least one time today, encourage someone, even if it's yourself. Okay, sounds great. Good job. You're doing awesome so far. Make your list, everything that you want to create in yourself. Here's one for you. You want to bring up your vibration? I'm telling you, those 3 exercises are going to start to change your life. Practicing kindness, one kind deed a day. Because if you're trying to learn a virtue of kindness, which is, by the way, a big time virtue, if you don't try to be kind to someone every day, the universe will create a situation so that you have to. Because it's important that you learn that virtue. Super important. It's a very important virtue. So you need to be kind to someone once a day, at least once. Better if you do it more often, but at least once, even if it's yourself. Okay? Even if it's yourself. Don't be kind to yourself. Don't sit in the mirror and go, oh, I'm fat, I'm ugly. Be kind to your little self. Your little body is working really, really hard. And some of you have put your body through a lot. And when it starts to fall apart, you're like, I don't know why this is happening. Your body is good. And so instead of sitting there and finding everything wrong about yourself, because it is true, we are the most critical of ourselves. And trust me, I know I'm a Capricorn with a Scorpio rising. I know how to be critical about myself. if we just reminded ourselves when we said that we have to be kind to our little body. Just be kind to others, to ourselves. Be kind. You know, feel the breeze on your face. Eat foods that make you feel happy and good. Some foods that actually keep up your happiness and your joy is omega 3s. Omega 3s is what you make serotonin out of. I can't even believe how many people I see that are super low on omega 3s. They want to be happy. They got to have something to make that serotonin from. Tryptophan. You need to have some of those foods that create tryptophan so that you can create an energy, an environment in your body that's happy. Okay. And here's the last exercise, which is really good for you, just so you know. Um, in Theta Healing, when we take you up, like we just took you, put that love through your body, we're going to take you up like that and let you manifest in a second. Okay, so you're kind of almost prepared. You thought of something that made you joyful. You thought of something that maybe made you grateful. You're probably thinking, I can be kind to myself. You're probably doing that and you're raising your vibration. Doing it daily would be great. But on the happiness, joyful thing, you don't have to do that more every half hour after today. Okay, just so you know, because after today, you'll start to create a habit. And if you ever feel like you're overwhelmed, you're getting depressed, start it again, half an hour, every half hour, you're going to start to think different, see things different. It starts to work immediately. It changes the chemicals in your mind. I know that you guys live a super busy life, but if you at least try to practice thinking of what makes you happy, you'll start living your entire life in joy. Why every half hour? We're reminding you to actually be present, to live, and to feel, because we're all spending half of our time worried about the future. In Theta Healing, we can actually kind of see that a little bit, teach you how to perceive what you're creating. But if you're too worried about something, it's really hard to manifest. Worry takes a lot of energy. It actually makes you lower your immune system, make it hard for you to really function. But it is still good to be reliable. So that's another class. So you still need to know, if you go after a problem with joy, you can manifest. Okay. One thing that actually really helps you to manifest is being clever. Would you guys like to know what it feels like to find answers and solutions in a very clever way? Now, the one I was going to talk about very quickly is going up to the energy of the creator and downloading everything around you. Now, thoughts are real things. They move faster than the speed of light. You have an aura that actually kind of protects you, but negative thoughts and thoughts of people are always there. Okay, always. Okay, you need to create a home where you send negative energy to the light and download every object in your house, everything that you own, to send energy back to you. So you can download your roof, that you're safe. You can download your floor, that you feel supported. You can download your couch, that it's comfortable. You can download your crystals, that they clean out negative energy. You can download and give you energy. You can download everything in your house. And when your home starts working for you, it shifts things, because everything that you touch, everything that is touched, leaves a ghost imprint of whoever touched it. So if somebody negative walks into your house picks that up. You want your house to be sending energy out so that it doesn't pick it up. Every grain of sand on this earth has full memory of everything that ever lived. Now, we have electrical wires, we have computer waves, we have microwaves, we have television waves, we have every kind of information going in and out around people through your cell phone. Your body is pounded by electrical magnetic fields, and it just really needs to pick up good information. I came here on the island. I have people so much closer to me than I normally have when I was sitting in Montana, and I could feel them. They were almost completely overwhelming because when I sleep, I'm kind of in my own little world there, and I had to adjust and I had to start downloading everything so that it's working for me. You want abundance? Surround yourself in your home, in your car, download your cards that say who you are, and then understand if you're a healer and you want abundance, that means clients. That doesn't mean that you sit there and wait for the lottery. That means when the universe opens the door, you take it. Okay. One more thing that I want to talk to you guys about today, and I hope this is working good so you can manifest the stuff on your list, is the fact that a lot of you and people, or a lot of people, live in the energy of regret. You regret you took this energy. You regret that you didn't accomplish everything in your life. You regret that things didn't work out right. And so instead of moving forward, you're actually living in the past. You can't manifest something to come in your future if your mind and your body doesn't know that the future is ahead of you if you're living in the past. So what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to walk you up in a little quick exercise, and with your permission, I can help you. And we're just going to realign that you're going forward. We're going to put your future in front of you and your past behind you so that you're not living like this. We're just going to do it really quick in a theta brainwave and make sure that you're going forward. So take a deep breath in. Imagine energy coming up through the bottoms of your feet, moving up to the top of your head, making a beautiful ball of light. Pretend that you're in that ball of light, that you go past the universe through layers and layers of light. Now I want you to imagine going through a golden light. I want you to imagine going through a kind of a thick energy like thick water or jelly, and into a tingly, tingly white light. And I want you to make the request, Creator of all that is, it is requested that I can visualize my future before me, that my past is behind me, that it's easy to access any lesson, and that I am going forward now in my life. Okay, and I want you to see not just your past, your childhood past, but the past, beyond this life, clear back to as long as your memories go. And I want you to imagine all of your future in front of you so that now when you manifest, this is in my life now, it comes into your life instead of trying to figure out how to come in. Okay. You can see it maybe as a film, as a file, whatever you see. Very good. Got it. Okay. Now I want you guys to imagine going back up to that, being in that, just that tingly white light of the Creator, knowing that you are safe, knowing that you're connected to everything. Because in this moment, you are part of all that is. Okay. Very good. Now say thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Okay. Now here's the deal. When you go up into theta, you kind of connect with this energy of all that is. And this is when your brain actually realizes that you are connected to all that is, because you know what? Your spirit already knows this. And every time that you do this meditation, it'll click you into the Creator. And it's true in theta healing, we teach you to do this first, then we teach you to expand out into the energy of the Creator. But this is to tell your mind that you're part of all that is, more than the universe, more than the heavens, more than the laws. And everything that is, this life force is in all of us. Now, people can tell you, you know what, you're connected to all that is, but in this meditation, you start to feel it and it becomes amazing. Very good. Congratulations. Now, we talked about stopping every half hour and thinking of something that makes you joyful. Well, it's 2 minutes before the actual half hour after I told you that. So I want you to stop now and think about what makes you happy, what brings you tiny bits of joy, what makes you happy. And I know some of you are like, I'm never happy, but now I told you, sometimes just stepping into a bath or sipping some tea, maybe eating something that feels good, maybe just being around people that love you. But I want you to think of something that makes you happy. And it would be cool if you thought of a couple things, but one thing is good too. Good. Okay, those 10 things that you wrote down, I want you to take a couple of seconds and see if there's anything else you want to manifest for in your life. So here's a couple of hints on your manifestation that you need. Number one, you want to make sure that you're not manifesting something that belongs to someone else. Okay. You want to make sure that you're manifesting. Um, think about it for a second. If you're manifesting to learn something, not all learning is easy. Just so you know. Um, but while you're doing the manifesting, you can also download yourself. We can also ask the creator to download you with more kindness, love, gratitude. That's in your life now. We can do that. If you're manifesting for a soulmate, I want you to go up. I want you to really visualize. When we go into this manifestation, I want you to really visualize what it feels like to be with that soulmate, what their hand feels like, what the feeling feels like. How does it feel to let someone love you as much as you love them? So, would you guys like a download to know what a soulmate's love is supposed to really feel like? And would you like to know what it feels like, or would you like to know how to receive love on every level? And would you like to know how to, and most of you, everyone here actually knows how to give love, but would you like to know how to give love and receive love and actually be appreciated, accepted, nurtured, and cherished? And if those are the things you would like to have, just say yes. Even if you've never had theta healing, or even if you don't even believe, just say yes and see if it works. Okay. Now, health is a little different. Just so you know, all of these things are a little different. If you're going up and you're manifesting and you hear in the back of your mind, oh, this isn't going to work. This is stupid. I don't know. I'll never get it. Then I need you to start again. Because anytime that you let doubt or disbelief come in the actual command, it stops it. So I need you to start again as many times as you need to till you quit saying no, 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 never happened, and manifest it. And that will also help you with your healings. That's huge. Now, if you cannot get that out and you really thought, this is wrong for me to manifest, then you need something called belief work, something to see what in your subconscious may be blocking you from getting this. Your subconscious is really smart, guys. It isn't trying to sabotage you. It's trying to love you and protect you. One of the major things of your mind and your core beliefs is to keep you alive, to keep you functioning, to avoid danger. So if your mom or father beat you as a child and said, I'm doing this because I love you, then your subconscious may think, wow, love is hurts. It's painful. I better avoid this. And it may have a program to keep people from getting too close. You may be pushing them away, even though you really want them to come in. And if that's true, then you need to do something called belief work. And for those that are theta healers, you know you've got this. You know how to do this. And for those that aren't, the book kind of explains it. A practitioner can help you. You can read affirmations every day and actually change things. But you theta healing, we can actually show you why you believe things, why your brain believes it, and teach your brain that it doesn't have to carry that program out, and teach it how to live without pushing people away or being negative. So, just so you know, if things are not showing up on your list, you can always do belief work. There's only one thing that can really stop you. Well, two things that can stop you from manifesting, and that is the belief that you don't deserve it, that you shouldn't have it. Part of that energy of deserving will start to leave when you start thinking of what makes you joyful, what makes you grateful. But sometimes you're not manifesting prosperity because maybe you don't like people who are prosperous. Maybe people who have been really prosperous have maybe hurt you in your life. And so maybe you need to shift that, because you know what? People feel and treat you kind of the way you feel. And if you feel it's wrong to have something, then that's what's going to happen. So you're going to block yourself. So you may have to do a little belief work, but for the most part, just knowing what you want, practicing doing this and this energy of joy, even if that energy of joy is just there for, you know, 5 minutes after you thought of how grateful you are and how happy you are, it'll make a huge difference in manifesting. And remember, if you feel like this isn't shifting, you can always do belief work, which is amazing and totally cool. And that will help you. Now, for health, if you want to manifest health, you got to quit saying, I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick. You might be sick. And living in pain is no fun experience. However, you may have also programs that say, what does it say? People in my family always say the same thing. Well, I'm hurting, but at least as long as I'm hurting, I know I'm alive. That could be an old family program. And maybe you don't know when to let your body rest. Maybe being sick is the only time you can rest. So maybe we need some belief work. Remember, every belief that you have, even if it's a really negative, down, really harsh, weird belief, it has a good belief behind it. So why are you sick? I have to have time for myself. I have to be able to heal my body. Or maybe you're sick because that's the only way that your husband, your wife, your partner actually treats you well. Or maybe, just maybe, it can be something completely different. But with healing, and I'm telling you this now, if you go up to this energy of the creator and this energy that I told you that would raise your vibration, you might actually have your body heal. Now, I healed my body several times from some really big deals, just going up and asking my body to heal. And then there's been a couple of times I had to do it 3 or 4 times and actually had really good success. And then there are times where I had to do belief work, figure out why I was creating this. Now, my family, has a lot of probably genetic problems. I've faced a lot of sickness in my life. Remember, theta healing started with nice. The healing part started when I actually shifted and healed myself. But here's something you should know. You guys are sparks of God. You're amazing. A lot of you came here to help the planet. Your vibration was so high when you came here that your little body may have not even been able to deal with it. So maybe we should teach you how to be in a human body and how to raise its vibration. by just knowing that you're completely loved. Now, when you're manifesting health, you really got to visualize what's going to happen when you're really healthy. What does it feel like? You know, I have worked on people that have been in a wheelchair for years, and when I ask them what's going to happen when they're completely better, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I can do it. I couldn't go back to work. I have I can't. I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to be better." So that could be a belief, and we need to teach them that they can be well. Now, I've watched Theta Healing help people that have been in a wheelchair for years get up and move. But really, it's the creator that actually is allowed to actually come in, help you, teach you to love yourself. I mean, everyone is different, but the chances of you manifesting have been increased by just doing these important things. If you're not getting better, you can always find out why. And in Theta Healing, we teach you that uh, to use all of your knowledge to get better. So Theta Healing is always encouraging you to learn other modalities. We encourage you, maybe to go to the right doctor. You know, not everything in Theta Healing did I heal by myself. I've always had really bad allergies. I had to finally find a doctor that said, "Oh, well, you know what? You got this little genetic thing. Here's some medicine that will change that." Ta-da! You know, finding the answers is also important. And you know what? You deserve to be healthy. You don't deserve to take on everybody else's sickness. You deserve to be healthy and strong. And you deserve to learn to love yourself without having to be super sick. So, one thing that you do when you're manifesting is, what does it feel like to be well, to walk, to run, to feel great? How do you do this? When I work on people with diabetes, they often have a program that the diabetes is actually helping them eat right and take care of themselves, because without it, they would never stop. They would always keep going and never even eat. Just so you know, there's a reason for everything. Because we're sparks of God, everything in your life is there for a purpose to teach you, but it doesn't mean you can't learn things the easy way. Just so you know, a lot of your ancestors weren't programmed to learn things the easy way. So let's teach you that you can learn it quick, fast, and efficient. Everyone's different. We learn things differently. I taught every one of my children when they were babies not to touch the electrical outlets. But my son, he didn't listen. He went and he put his little butter knife into the electric outlet. Lucky I was there. I saved his life. And I'm telling you, I did everything, but he was determined. That I can guarantee you he didn't do it again. But my daughters, they didn't have no problem with it. Probably because he told them, "Don't do it." So we all learn differently, but understand that something great is going on here. We're here to learn by experience, learn to focus our thoughts, live at a higher vibration, and everything in your life that you've gone through, it matters. I wouldn't change anything. I have learned so much from so many things. I wouldn't change my decisions. My decisions were the decisions that brought me here. But I can make quicker, faster decisions to learn easier. And one thing I've learned at this stage of my life, I can listen. If God says don't do this, I don't do this. If God says avoid this, I avoid this. If God says, hey, there's a problem coming, you should change this, I listen. And I probably had to have everything in my life happen the way it did so that I did listen. So, would you like to know what it feels like to be able to be in tune with the Creator? Now, remember, a lot of you are already healers. You already have really powerful minds. Let's see if we can't get those minds redirected. Because when you're in depression, you really can make it really big depression. And the other thing about natural born healers is they pick up other people's feelings. So would you like to know the difference between your thoughts and somebody else's? And just because you walk into the store and all of a sudden you're grouchy, you can notice I was happy when I walked in the store. Now I'm grouchy. Let's change that. That's not my feeling. This is really conscious work to be consciously aware of the time that we waste on resentment, regret, rejection. Now, all of these things block our abilities if we spend too much time on them. And it's an easy habit to slip into, especially since being critical, gossiping actually releases something called oxytocin, by the way. It actually releases a chemical in our brain because it was used to, we didn't have the news thousands of years ago. We talked, oh, so and so's cow died and his cow died, so that we got messages across, so we communicated. Well, you're gossiping about negative things could be shifted to positive things. You can still talk about people. It's just you want to talk about them in a good way, if possible. And there is a difference between gossiping and news. So if somebody had something, a crisis happen in their life, it's okay to say so and so had a crisis in their life. Or if somebody stole money from you, it's okay to say, you know what, maybe you shouldn't do business with them. They stole money from me. So it's not eliminating a process. It's shifting the energy it's delivered with. And so if you catch people saying negative things about everyone, then what are they going to say about you? And the same with you. We're programmed this to learn to communicate. We need to really focus on the good thing. You want to manifest? Try this for a week. A week. The gratitude, the thankfulness, and see what happens. See where your mind is. See how you feel. See where you are. Okay, let's go manifest. Are you ready? Okay. Got a couple questions.
How often can we manifest? Do we have to always have 10 things on our list to manifest?
I always have, if I get 6 or 7 things on my list, off my list, I add more to the list. I always have to have a list. I remember getting to Japan once and I accomplished everything on my list and I got nervous. So I couldn't think of what I wanted at the time. So I wrote down that I raise beautiful Frisian horses. These are these really beautiful, black, gorgeous horses. And you know what? Boom, I was doing it. It was amazing. And now I have all these horses. They're beautiful. They're amazing. My family has to take care of them a lot because I travel. But it was amazing to see how fast it could come to be. And you have to take the opportunities that the universe has to give to you. We're creating a little app where we give you downloads like every day, or that we take you up in meditations. You can do a meditation every day, but usually when you manifest, it's one manifestation is like 30 days of affirmations. So if you manifest it every day, your subconscious thinks that's all you want to do. Manifest, wait and see what opportunities come.
If I don't feel the tingling sensation when I go up to the creator, that energy, what can I do to practice that? I'm very new. And then another person's been doing it for a while, but still doesn't feel that energy, that tingling energy in their body. And then I'll let you answer that.
Okay, so first of all, when you go up to the energy of the creator, you have to say to your mind, what would it feel like? If you stop and think, you can actually feel, if you take a moment, you can actually feel the air on your skin. Even if you're wearing clothes, you can feel that air touching your skin. You need to ask yourself, if I'm in the energy of perfect intelligence love, what would that feel like? And just going up a couple times, because your brain will go into theta, but it will go into a really high theta brainwave. And then you'll think you're feeling it, but you'll think, oh, I'm just making it up. But the more you practice, the lower you get, the more it feels like a vision, and the more you'll feel it in your body. You know, you may need a little bit of belief work to know you're allowed to feel the love of the creator. But I've looked at everyone that joined, and you're good. You're there. You just have to imagine what it would feel like. Go up and practice a couple times, and all of a sudden you'll feel it. And everyone is different. It may take one person one time, and it may take you 20 times to really start to feel it. I tell people, if they can't, I will hand them a crystal and say, feel this. And they're like, I can't feel this. Um, what would it happen if you could? And if they can't feel like a crystal when I put in their hand, I always put like moldavite in their hand, because moldavite still kind of got radioactive energy to it a little bit, and they'll feel it get warm, and that will clip their brain. Other practices that really help you visualize is just closing your eyes and visualizing things like this. You guys, close your eyes for a minute. If you could taste the color red, did you lose me? Am I frozen?
No, not frozen.
Are we connected to some?
Yes. Take from the top for a second.
Make friendly talk. But still, if you can close your eyes and or hear what yellow would feel like, you would hear yellow. And this all really helps you visualize. There's some really cool exercises in theta healing I go over with you a lot in that you can actually teach some of your students that actually really help you visualize. And so we will do that. We are in the process of actually writing a manifesting book. The manifesting class is really cool. But usually I help people do visualization exercises that are kind of cool, that really help you. But for those that ask to feel it, just imagine going up, what would it feel like? And it'll trigger your brain to start feeling things more. And after all, feeling is super important. A lot of you only feel things and maybe you don't visualize things, but everybody does visualize. If you know how to get home or to the store, you have the ability to visualize. So I think that the more practice you'll have it, but also foods. Foods make a huge difference, and having the right vitamins in your body always helps. Amino acids really help people visualize. And believe it or not, some of the people that have always been in pain usually can visualize pretty good, because they have to try to shut off their pain. So if you've been in pain your whole life, would you like to know how to live without it? You have to say yes.
They're saying yes.
Okay.
And they said yellow tastes like sunshine. So you can do that as the visualization part again.
Okay, so some things that actually start to trigger your mind to really just relax and feel things is little exercises like the color red. You guys can see the color red in your mind when I say that, but what would it feel like if you were in the color red? Or what would it taste like? Or what would it sound like? And immediately that triggers your brain to actually start to answer those questions. Your mind is the fastest computer that ever was. It learns super, super fast. In fact, it takes more energy to forget something than it is to remember. And you can learn super quickly by just opening up, the color blue. What does the color blue sound like? What does it taste like? And that will start to open up your mind and all of your senses. It really, really, really helps you. And there is some really cool visualization ones. If you guys want another webinar on just how to visualize, I would be so happy to do it. Because I have all kinds of cute little tricks. Now, those little things that I showed you today, grateful, gratitude, I'm telling you, it'll shift your mind. It will start to open it and you'll start to manifest super quick. And most of the people that will come to your classes or that you see in your normal life, they don't really know what to create because they're so busy trying to survive that they may actually be creating their own fears. What happens if I don't make the rent? Well, you can make the rent. There are clever solutions. Okay. One of the things that we found really works in theta healing is if when you go up and connect to the seventh plane, you're already connected. You're already molecularly connected. We take you and expand you out to the seventh plane. It's a different meditation. And that way you can actually feel the plants and everything around you. And if you go back after you manifest the seventh plane, you're in that pure energy of love and light. You don't pick up anything negative. You're in this energy of pure love and light. You can feel things around you without it overwhelming you. Now, if I go into a grocery store, I can't even shop. I hear people's energy. I feel their stress. It just makes me absolutely cuckoo unless I go up to the creator first and then I can feel it. But it's in this energy of love and compassion, and I'm fine. I bet you my husband wishes I never figured that out because I am one super fast, mighty shopper. And I bet you sometimes he wished I'd still stay in the car. Forgiveness is your strongest form of protection. And that also is another subject to tell you the power of each virtue that they bring to you. So even when you look at somebody that hurts you and say, I forgive you, this is huge because not only is the power forgive so powerful, even if you don't forgive them in your mind, because it may take you a while because we believe that you're supposed to forgive and forget, and people don't always forgive who abuse. And it's complicated when it comes to resentment and forgiveness. Super powerful. We can talk about that later, but every time that you say, I forgive you, you are taking any negative thought that person sends to you and sending it to the light. Now, there was a reason why in many ancient books you heard the words, forgive those who despitefully use you, forgive your enemies. That not just is, oh, forgive, bring happiness to you. That was also sending those negative energies away from you because forgiveness is the highest form of protection. And sometimes you may have to do some really amazing forgiveness work with yourself. You may have to forgive yourself. You may have to forgive others, and you may have to know how. And in class, if you start doing the forgiveness exercise, it increases your ability. It increases your energy. But today, we're just going to be very focused on being thankful and gratitude and grateful. And we'll cover that at a different time. So, Kate, should you forgive yourself when you manifest? Well, you should forgive yourself all the time. But what you also need to know is that you deserve. You deserve good things. But once you start recognizing that you are thankful, that you are grateful, you'll start to feel more deserving. Okay, so kindness is a virtue that works with almost all the virtues. So kindness, compassion, wisdom, and courage are like your four basic major laws, just so you know. And virtues can be laws, just so you know, laws of the universe. They can do mighty, amazing things. Negative energies, when you put yourself in the energy of depression, it never leaves the earth. And you guys can understand that because when you're depressed, it just like caves in on you. And all you want is out. You want out of that depression. But when you actually put in joy and kindness and gratitude, it lifts it because those are higher vibrations. Okay, so we have 10 things at least on your list. We're going to walk you through the manifesting technique. If you want to manifest children in your life, well, you guys, you do know how you create children, right? You have to, like, have an opportunity. Uh, Children are interesting. They will stand by the parent that they are to be born with. Um, if you're having problems getting pregnant, manifesting children, I would be happy to send you some information on how to do it, and also refer you to a theta healer because you can actually get a lot done there. There's some real physical blocks, but I'm going to tell you right now, um, I'm really good at children. Obviously, if you've ever called my office, you can hear all the babies crying. I'm really good. No, I got 4 great grands right now, which is pretty good. That's great grands. But this also can take some belief work and maybe some shifts in how and in your little body is needed. Okay, so but if you're doing a manifesting and you're manifesting for children, you might find that that is also maybe very successful. Um, so let's go see what happens. Okay, remember, children pick their parents. So you may want a child now, but it may not be ready to come for 8 months, 4 days, and 2 hours. Whoever wrote that question, that might really help them. Okay, are you ready? I want you to imagine energy coming up through the bottoms of your feet, moving up to the top of your head, making a beautiful ball of light. And I want you to imagine this ball of light is transparent. You can be sending a kind of a piece of yourself, or you can just imagine that light all around you. And I want you to imagine going up through the universe as if you could go through it all. I want you to imagine going through layers and layers of light, through a golden light, through a thick jelly-like substance, and into a tingly white light. And I want you to say, Creator of all that is, this is in my life now. And I want you to visualize what's on your list. If it's a child, what does that child feel like? If it's a soulmate, what does that soulmate feel like? If it's a house, a home, what does it look like? What does it feel like? I want you to really visualize that. Okay. Very good. I want you to imagine going back to that tingly white light that energy of perfect love. Take a moment and imagine if you could feel it in every cell in your body, this perfect energy of love, what would it feel like? Now I want you to take a deep breath in and say, thank you, it is done, it is done, and open your eyes. Now I've been manifesting for years and I'm a great manifester. I just want you to know that. I'm pretty good at this. Just so you know. But it was about 6 years ago when I manifested something and it wasn't actually coming the way I wanted it to come. I started to say, God, I thought you said this was going to happen. And, you know, what's going to go on? What's happening? And then I heard the Creator say, Diana, have I ever let you down? At any time in your life, have I ever let you down? And I just remembered, I remember going to my cupboard and not having anything to feed my children. And I remember asking the Creator to help me. I never blamed the Creator for not creating. And I always asked the Creator to help me with whatever presented itself in my life. And the Creator said, Diana, you have flour, you have yeast, you have water, and you have salt. You also have one egg. You can make breadsticks tonight. And I made the breadsticks and I was so grateful. And a lot of you don't realize where the humble means in which I came from. But I can tell you now that the Creator has always helped me in my life. You know, always presented an opportunity, always. Now, when I first divorced my kids' dad, I just said, God, please, I don't know how to put clothes on my children. And the Creator said, it'll be okay. And from that day forward, people gave my children clothes. I used to have to go in like every month and a half and take out some of the clothes and give it on away because I was taken care of in such a good way. You can manifest. And whether it's in a humble means, and humble means meaning poor, or whether you're manifesting and you're wealthy. Now, some people don't think that wealthy people have problems. They have problems. They have love problems. They have sickness problems. They have lots of problems too. And the Creator is always there to offer solutions. And when you go up and connect with the Creator will tell you what to do. It was always there. But when you go up and put your mind in a theta brain set, you can feel and connect with the Creator in ways that are amazing. You know, just going up and visualizing what you want, you may decide that's not what you want. And you can always change it. You know, I had somebody manifest for 3 houses. You know, they didn't have time to take care of 3 houses. And when they visualized it, they realized that. And some people do, but this person did not. So you can always change your manifestation. You know, some people manifest for 8 children. After 2, they're like, you know what? I don't really need 8. And that's a so-so thing because the children do try to come to the one parent. But I'm just saying, if you connect with the Creator, your needs will be met. If you have, and all of you, everyone that joined here has a divine timing. And there is a promise that if you follow your path, your needs will be taken care of. And if your needs is to drive a car, it's nothing to the universe. You know, an expensive car is nothing compared to the energy of the Creator and the universe. Nothing. So obviously, in order to follow your path, your needs will be granted. But you know, your needs can't come through if you're too depressed and keep saying over and over in your mind, acting like Eeyore, nothing happens for me. But if you are in a moment of joy, you can actually hear the Creator so much better. If you're in a moment of gratitude, it is multiplied. And these are simple exercises. So I hope this helps you in your life. And what the heck, you can just practice. It might happen.
Right, our 30-minute mark, do happiness one more time.
Okay. One more time, take a moment. Think of something that makes you happy. Now, one moment that makes you happy that maybe you haven't thought about for a while. Well, maybe it makes you happy to put your feet in the ocean or take a walk along the beach. Maybe it made you happy to see your child born. Maybe it made you happy to hold your mother. Okay, so just remember, in Theta Healing, we do believe we create our reality. And we create our reality with our thoughts, but also with our programs. And so we may have to alter and shift a few programs. But I'm telling you now, just these things that you're doing are going to shift things for you. In Theta Healing, we do belief work. We actually do belief work on ourselves to try to shift things, not try, but to shift things. But I also want you to know, as Theta Healers, simple healings, just by going up and commanding your body to heal, just going up to that tingly white light of all that is and saying, my body is well, I am strong, and reinforcing that can shift your reality. The simple meditation, it healed me from so many things. Just so you know, you're doing great. You're doing awesome. And it's going to be fun to see what happens. So from all of you from all of us to all of you, we're just going to start here. Great Creator, we're going to close with a prayer. Great Creator, oh great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds and the waters. My Father, my Mother, my God, Creator of all that is. I thank you for my life, and I thank you for everyone here. I thank you for all that we are and all that we will become. Thank you. Oh. Okay.